My next patron question is from Sonia, who wants to know why a despised preschool show has been on the air for so long. If Caillou has always been so unpopular, why wasn't the show cancelled sooner? It's certainly been impressive that the show kept running for so long, especially considering how disliked it is among parents. And I think that's the key. Parents were not fond of the series, but it's likely enough children watched Caillou for more episodes to be ordered. And even when new episodes stopped being produced in 2010, PBS kept running it for another 10 years. I think something worth pointing out is that Caillou was one of the premier shows on Teletoon. In fact, when Teletoon launched on October 17, 1997, the first piece of programming it aired was an episode of Caillou. And I have to admit, I did watch Caillou on occasion back in the day. Caillou's controversial behavior aside, the animation did have a warm and inviting quality to it, largely thanks to the artists at CNR, a company that produced a lot of content for Teletoon. Something else worth pointing out is that as a Canadian network, Teletoon was required to air a certain percentage of Canadian programming per day. Thus, they ordered a 65-episode first season to help fill that quota, and it probably did decently enough in the ratings for them to order more seasons. PBS Kids also imported a number of Canadian animated shows to air on that block. Not just Caillou, but The Magic School Bus and Redwall 2, to name a few examples. So with two networks looking favorably upon the show's viewership, it's understandable why more episodes kept being ordered. As I said, plenty of children likely viewed the series, and before you start insulting the intelligence of children, remember that we all had television shows we enjoyed watching that got on our parents' nerves. And then you grow up and revisit the show and realize, oh, they had a point there. As a child, I saw these as just the adventures of an imaginative young boy. And then when I gave a few episodes another look recently, it hit me that he is kind of a whiny twerp who frequently treated his sister horribly. Ignoring the apparent quality of Caillou for a second, I think something always worth remembering is not every piece of media is going to appeal to your tastes, and that's okay. There are billions of children in the world, and not every children's show will match your own ideas of what a show for them should be. I actually find writers for children's programming don't get enough credit, as they are extremely difficult to write. You have to create something that the younger audience will enjoy while still respecting their intelligence. But what they produce won't always match what the parents want to see. I also think it's important to note that many of the people airing their grievances about some preschool show on social media are not the target demographic. Similar to Caillou, Peppa Pig is another preschool animated series that is apparently a huge phenomenon among the kindergarten crowd, but parents have said they can't stand it. And yet the viewership remains high. There was a telling sign about how well Caillou has held up with those who grew up with it when another animated show that started airing around the same time announced it was ending. When it was revealed that the final season of Arthur would be airing next year, there was an outpouring of love and appreciation, even from those who had not tuned in to see the series in years and were mostly nostalgic about the earlier seasons. That says a lot about the impact of Arthur and how much it means to people. When it was announced that PBS would stop airing Caillou, a lot of folks about the same age greeted the news with a shrug. Of course, the next question is whether parents should let children watch Caillou in the first place. Honestly, if I was a parent, I would let my child watch whatever they want as long as it's age appropriate. DuckTales? Great. Animaniacs? Wonderful. Norm of the North? Go right ahead. Because I think it's important for someone to be exposed to a wide variety of media of different quality in order to shape their tastes and learn what they like and dislike. If there's maybe a lesson they should not learn, then talk to them about what they learned and assess whether they're taking something harmful from it. Just my opinion on the matter. I do think Caillou is a series that will always be remembered, but maybe not for the reasons the creators intended. Thank you for your question, Sonia.